Eternal for all. From this point forward, everything counts, and the road to the Dome officially begins. It's week 1 of the high school football season and the 36th year of this long-running television show. Hey, we have a lot of highlights and scores to show you, so let's get this thing started. Sportsline Friday Night starts now. Hey everybody, welcome to Sportsline Friday Night. I'm Jacques Doucet along with the birthday boy, Kevin Baptiste. Happy 30th.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to cover the kids, especially even when it's your birthday. Don't mind it at all, but yeah.
All right, the after party for you comes later, but this is the party to start, and you took in some great action tonight.
Yeah. One of my games was Dunham and Parkview. There's always a yearly week 1 contest. You know, Dunham, they fell short in the state championship game last year. Parkview, they're trying to get back to what they once were. So who is going to get the start in this 2025 season? And Dunham's offense, they came out running and gunning after their defense got a stop. Elijah Haven hit Richard Montgomery on a screen pass. They set them up near the goal line. And then on a 3rd and goal, Haven does it himself. Fight. He's just a big guy, Jock. It's just hard to bring him down. He's going to get in the end zone, 7-0 Dunham. After their defense forced a turnover on downs, offense back at it again. Haven drops back, throws it across the middle. Jerome Harris got it in stride, makes some moves. Eventually, he is brought down just at Parkview's 40-yard line. And then a few plays later, check out this play, Jock. Haven, screen pass, Jarvis Washington makes one guy miss, cuts up the field, get out of my way, and then gets into the end zone for the touchdown, 14-0. That is just some unfair, nasty stuff right there from Mr. Washington. And Neil Winder pulling out all the stops in week 1.
Nice.
A surprise onside kick as that's recovered by Beckett Wilson, and then the offense is going to reap the benefits. Haven, RPO, lobs it up to Milo Johnston, touchdown, 21-0, and Dunham had no issues in this one as they went on to win by the final score of 49-14. So a really good win, big-time win for Neil Weiner and company. Let's move on to Ascension Parish. Madison Prep was at Dutchtown. The Chargers had it going on in the first half. They led 22-10, and we're going to pick it up in the 3rd quarter. Right now,
I think that video was not properly attached, so we're going to have to go into the edit bay.
We'll come back to that.
And we will come back to that. Madison Prep doubles up Dutchtown, but sloppy procedure there. We'll look to get it fixed. All right, Plaquemine and Zachary this evening, and Zachary taking to the field. And Zachary's quarterback, there you see Plaquemine. They are coming off a big season themselves. Zachary quarterback Michael Kirby finds number 9, Ethan Kimmy, and Kimmy for a good pass reception and touchdown. Or actually, that's Michael Kirby hands it off to Jeremy Patton. That's a good run, 7-0 Zachary. Now we have Kirby finding Ethan Kimmy for the touchdown pass. So Zachary up at that point, 14-0. In the 2nd quarter, Plaquemine's quarterback Brennan Miles hands it off to Austin Young for a big run, breaking tackles. He's off for a first down before he is finally taken down there. On the same drive on 4th down and 13, Miles with the short pass to number 2, Dejan Bologna. It is no Bologna, or Bellany, I should say. Then runs it into the goal line. And then John Walker at a quarterback. He keeps the ball and runs it in for the touchdown. It's 14-6. At that point, let's take a look at your final score from this one tonight as Zachary had plenty of points. Zachary puts up their share as well, but the Broncos, too much firepower, 52-28 the final.
All right, we'll try to get that Madison Prep Dutchtown game back to you as soon as possible, but for now, we are just getting started. Stick with us. We'll be right back with Sportsline Friday Night. All right, welcome back to Sportsline. This is East Ascension and Brother Martin.
We don't have the shot sheet for this, guys.
We don't have that game. Let's skip that one.
Yeah.
We're going to come back to East Ascension and Brother Martin. I want to give all the kids and their due with their names and stuff. Let's go to St. Michael and Episcopal. We have that. As Brother Martin makes a nice run. It's week 1 for everybody. So yeah, Brother Martin won that game 29-22. We're going to come back to that one once we get the shot sheet. Let's go to St. Michael and Episcopal. We got that one?
There you go. There's
All right,
St. Michael and Episcopal.
St. Michael and Episcopal right here. Travis Bourgeois
never looked so good.
And Episcopal, they were trailing 14-6 at this point. But St. Michael and their offense led by Boogie Leviston, they made things happen as Leviston is going to hit Damian Willett for the touchdown. That made it 21-6 Warriors. Now, Episcopal is a running team. That's usually due to their running backs. It's rare that their quarterback, Zach Hugh, takes off and shows off the wheels like this. Dodges off 2 would-be tacklers, throws off another guy, and gets into the end zone for the 65-yard touchdown. Episcopal went for 2, and they got it. So a one-score game, 21-14. So third quarter now, same score. Hugh gonna go to the air, going deep. It goes into the hands of a white jersey. Wrong person. That is going to be intercepted by C.J. Leviston, and he has nothing but green grass in front of him, trying to make it a house call. They can't bring him down. He's going down the sideline. Eventually, he is brought down, but not before setting up the Warriors' offense in good field position. And then 3 plays later, Boogie Leviston runs a speed option to Willett. Touchdown for the Warriors. That made it 28-14 as you look at the final score in this one, as St. Michael went on to win 35-21. So a good week 1 start for Ryan, AJ, and company.
All right, the U-High Cubs at home on Thursday night against the Woodlawn Panthers. U-High looked pretty good in their Jamboree win against Dunham, and you're taking a look at Tremone Douglas. He's the new head coach at Woodlawn. 0-0 game, second down. Ethan McGlynn, short pass to Lawson Dixon. The Southeastern commit weaving through defenders, works east to west and north to south, takes it all the way to the house. 44-yard pitch and catch, 7-0 U-High. Early in the second quarter, as the student section having a good time. Looks like they were ready to do some hunting. I think it's too early for a hunt season, but 15-0 U-High. Third quarter, Ahmad Price lost a go ball. Trenton Bennett runs under it, sprinting to the pylon, dragged down at the 1-yard line. Woodlawn's new offensive coordinator is Marcus Randall, and Caden Randall, his son, in the Wildcat, into the end zone. He would convert the 2-point conversion, 15-8 U-High. Late second quarter, a trick play. McGlynn flares it to Dixon. It's a double pass. William Martin is wide open. Wiggles past a few defenders and is dropped at the 25-yard line there. So season opener, not too early to break out some razzle-dazzle. The Cubs march into the red zone, and Corbin Odell punctuates the drive with a physical touchdown run, 26-8 U-High at the half. Then in the third quarter, Woodlawn a bad snap. It's recovered by Lane Mixon, the senior linebacker. Scoops it up, and he will score his second career touchdown. U-High making a statement in its season opener. They flex their muscles and win big, 49-8. The Cubs dominate Woodlawn in week 1. All right, we had some chicken tenders being fried up there. This is Ascension Catholic against Bourgeois. Bourgeois up 40-38 in the fourth quarter. Greg Fernandez keeps the snap, runs out of bounds for a first down. Then Fernandez keeps again. He finds an opening and scores a touchdown. So Ascension Catholic in this wild game takes a 45-40 lead at that point. The cheerleaders loving it. And then Bourgeois, they're trying to march back. Logan Renfro, the pass to Terrell Nixon for the first down. Then Renfro passes to Derek Celestine. He's tackled by Aiden Abear. Bourgeois, Naeem Hassan then shoves Abear. That's a 15-yard personal foul. So not thinking right there. That's a bad penalty, but you know what? Renfro is going to be intercepted by Trevin Simon. It is not Seymour. It is Simon, and Simon says we win. 45-40. Ascension Catholic in a shootout, a defensive play, and a 45-40 game locks it up.
Between the shove and Jalen Carter spitting on Dak Prescott last night. Thursday night was very hostile for football. All right, we're going to stick with Thursday night. North Iberville was on the road at Central Private. Pick it up in the fourth quarter. The Bears are up 31-20 with 10 minutes left in the game. Justice Roy is going to hand off to Jeremy Favorite, and he gets loose and almost is going to get to the end zone. Big run. Oh, no, he actually does get to the end zone. So how about that? Touchdown for the Bears. But the play is going to be called back for an unsportsmanlike conduct from the coaches or something? I guess not. Maybe. All right, so the Bears get back to it. Justice Roy.
They're
back
really
at
into the
offense.
game, those kids.
Yeah, he throws to B.J. Balançon for the first down. And then that run gang gets right back to it as Jalen Mims this time gets into the end zone for 6. Touchdown for the Bears, 39-20 after the 2-point conversion in North Iberville. Having a grand old time. Central Private still fighting, but the Bears defense not allowing any of it. Their offense gets right back to it, and they just have a staple of running backs out there in Rosedale, Jock. This time it's Aiden Melanson uses his legs, outrunning all the red jerseys for a touchdown, 47-20. North Iberville trying to pick up that steam from last year. I mean, they made the deep run in the playoffs, and now could they do it again? 47-20. Bears start the season 1-0.
All right, not exactly looking like an expansion team.
No, not at all.
Jumping right into it.
Not at all.
All right, we're going to take a commercial break. More high school football from South Louisiana coming up.
All right, welcome back to Sportsline. You know, week 1 has a lot of these matchups from teams that are far away. Brother Martin, the boys from New Orleans, they went to Ascension Parish to take on East Ascension, and the Spartans were up 22-9 after in the first half. And we see the Spartans defense gets right back to work. Just a host of blue jerseys, not letting any penetration get through the line. So after halftime, Brother Martin trying to get something. Jeremiah Burton takes the handoff down the sideline for a first down. And they're going to stick with what works. Burton, handoff, touchdown. PAT no good. So 22-15, EA still up, clinging to the lead. Brother Martin's offense would get the ball back. Easton Royal, this time on the sweep. He gets the first down. And they're going to give it back to Royal, and this time he gets into the end zone for the touchdown, and the PAT was good. That tied it at 22. What is the final score in this one, guys? Brother Martin, 29-22. So that's just a tough one for EA. They had a 13-point lead and lose like that. Tough.
Yeah, Brother Martin muscles up in the second half. Live Oak playing host to St. Paul's this evening. St. Paul's coming off a big year, including a 48-14 win over Live Oak last year. But early on, you see, it is Jackson Monastery for the touchdown. Take a look at your score right there.
Nice.
Live Oak out in front. And then Cody Corrals was handed the ball, long touchdown. The ref gets in the way. We tie things up. Live Oak cheerleaders liking what they're seeing out there, but not when St. Paul's quarterback Brady Pearson finds Christopher Belivo on the dump-off catch for the touchdown. So here comes St. Paul right back into the end zone on the big catch and run. So they're now back out in front 14-7, and then Brady Pearson finds his man Brendan Villa in the corner of the end zone for the deep touchdown there, and St. Paul, they sprint away in this one. They go on to win 48-13 is the final score. So not much difference between this year and last year when it comes to this game, but Randall Leggett and company will get them moving. All right, McKinley and Capital, go ahead.
Okay, there we go. Take you back to last night. Some former athletes from two of the oldest schools in Baton Rouge. Keith Woods was trying to get his Lions fired up with 36 seconds left in the first quarter, and it seemed like it paid off. As Cameron Wilson, he catches the touchdown pass, throw from Deion Dixon, a nice little dance to go with it. So 6-0 as Capital gets on the board first, and their band sure is loving that. Second quarter, McKinley now trying to do something. Caleb Brown completes the pass to Marquise Turner, and look at him just making guys miss. Nice first down pickup. Taken down by Johnny Jenkins, who made the tackle. And then McKinley trying to get in the end zone, and they do, as Brown completes the touchdown pass to Montrell Bell. That made it 7-6. That was the score at the halftime. And the final score in this one, 20-18 McKinley. So a nice little barn burner for the first game for these two teams.
Yeah, big city rivals there. All right, Collegiate and Istrouma. Istrouma scored two safeties early for a 4-0 lead. It's the boys of summer, and baseball continues. Here comes Elijah Parker, though, on the quarterback run for Istrouma. Then Marcus Williams gets the handoff, and he's going to power his way up the middle. He'll find the end zone. That's a short touchdown run. And then a little bit later, Istrouma keeping it on the ground. Their head coach last year is now our mayor. Do you know that?
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Sid Edwards and Williams. Long touchdown run, cutting it back into the end zone for the score. Looking good there. And we told you about those safeties. We'll show you at least one of them right here. I believe it's Rylan Cotton and some other guys in on the tackle there. Not going very far. And Istrouma looked like they had their way with Collegiate tonight. Let's take a look at the final score from this one tonight. Big time, 58-0. Istrouma with the shutout. All right, Thursday night football. Hanson Mbop was at St. John this evening. The Eagles opening their season. It would be the Tigers who got things started on offense as quarterback Spencer Fuhrer would pass it to running back Ethan Clements. Screen that would bring him deep into Eagle territory. Fuhrer would finish the job as he would take it in himself, and the Tigers take a 6-0 lead as he is able to barrel over a defender. The extra point was blocked. The Tigers would get the ball right back after 3 and out. Brendan Villican, the option to Todd from Fuhrer to extend the lead to 12. But Brian Troxclair and his team, they roll back. They answer the Eagles, set themselves up in the red zone after Royal Robinson took a carry to the outside before slipping. Nathan Burley would finish the job to make it 12-6. The Eagles would respond right after the score as Russell Marbury would haul in the interception, and the Eagles here playing some defense. Nice pressure on the passer, and the ball is intercepted in the secondary. St. John of Plaquemine, a big win for them to start the year. They go on to take this one by the final of 36-19.
I think his name was Burley.
Burley, yes.
Burley.
Okay.
Trying to put some respect on your name, kid. Just for you.
Absolutely.
There we go. All right. We'll be right back after this.
Continue on WBXH or on WAFB.com, our live stream on your phone, your laptop. We've got a lot coming up. Catholic and Destrehan went head-to-head. Denham, Springs, and Walker made trips. We've got many highlights coming up. We'll see you after this commercial break.
Just getting started.
All right, welcome back to Sportsline Friday night. A couple of veteran coaches who have been winning for a long time. Guy Mastretta at Dutchtown, Landry Williams at Madison Prep. Their two teams went head-to-head tonight.
They did, and I remember Guy Mastretta and Dutchtown, they were oh so close to the Dome a few years ago.
Yes.
They've been trying to inch their way back. And Madison Prep, Landry Williams, they always are on that cusp, and they're also trying to inch their way back too. So let's see how they did tonight in their matchup. 22-10 Chargers at the half. So Landry Williams' team really came out with the fire. Pick it up in the third quarter. Dutchtown trying to get something going. Owen Fletcher is going to hit Martell Rogers in stride deep for a long touchdown pass. And just like that, it's a one-score game, folks. 22-17, Madison Prep still in front. Griffin's offense get the ball back. Fletcher pass again, but he is crushed by Jamiris Allen. Oh no, Jamiris Allen picks it up and almost gets a big man scoop and score a touchdown, but he falls just short of the end zone. But the offense from Madison Prep is going to finish it as Harlem Turner goes to the end zone, standing up to make it 28-17, back to a two-score game for the Chargers. And their offense is right back to it. Landon Johnson, a little hitch to Keon Robinson, and he is going to do the rest, outrun his defender, and get to the end zone. Touchdown, 34-20, Madison Prep. And Guy Mastretta obviously not happy with what he is seeing from his defense, and he's not going to be happy after seeing this either, as Madison Prep again gets in scoring range, and Turner gets into the end zone to make it 40-20, Madison Prep. Look at the final score, and that is the final score, 40-20. So a good week one win for Landry Williams and company.
Yeah, playing up and playing big.
Yeah.
Madison Prep. All right, we got Baker versus Tara, and Baker's Damone Richardson. I believe he's the one that blocked the punt. We slowed it down to make sure it was number 10. And Richardson, he does block the punt. Buffalo's in business. Steve Claiborne, he's the quarterback. He's going to roll right, fire short, touchdown pass to Kevon Gross. And it's not gross if you're a Baker fan. It's indeed a nice touchdown. And Kevin, you ever seen a 15-yard punt return for a touchdown? Where you're about to see one right here.
I saw a 7-yard punt at Southern a few weeks ago.
Mordecai Singleton picks it up, and then it's a rugby scrum into the end
Oh,
zone.
my God.
He scores. So Baker was having their way with Tara in the first half. And then we've got Jesse Green. He's going to get the rock, and not much resistance for old Jesse. Sprints into the end zone for the score. That makes it 29-0 in the second quarter. Looks like Baker had a very happy season opening victory tonight. Full screen as we take a look. Final score 50-6. Buffaloes, they were roaming. All right, let's talk about Brusly and Port Allen this evening. The Sugarcane Classic. Brusly, they get things started quickly in this one. It was Drake Vincent would find Reggie Riley. Riley into the end zone to make it 14-0 at that point. And then we've got the Panthers. They get the ball back a little bit later, and the speedy Patrick Gales on the outside would not be stopped. You see the track speed coming right at you for a 41-yard touchdown. Very nice.
He wasn't even running full speed on that one. Jesus.
We want to thank our guy, Phil Mason, for helping us out with some of these clips tonight, as this game was a bigger blowout perhaps than we expected, and there's some problems there with Port Allen trying to get the punt off. They do not. It is Evan Poole of the Panthers. He recovers to make it 28-0. Brusly out in front, and Hall Schooler's thrilled. Yeah, the guy's entering his 9th year over there. Panthers would end up running away with this one. A statement victory tonight, 42-6. They pretty much took the foot off the gas in the second half. They were up 42-0 at the half.
Yeah,
42-0,
yeah,
yes.
that's a big robbery right there. I know it's going to be a lot of trash talk from B-Town over the next few days. All right, we got more Sportsline coming up after this. Another one of those week one matchups where, you know, teams from different areas. Denham Springs hit the road. They was at Hammond, and Hammond's offense tucking and running as Taryn Jones keeps it for the first down. Then they're going to give it to Quadrez Lewis for the touchdown. So 7-0 Hammond. And then you got a bad snap right here. And Denham Springs is going to reap the benefits as Jason Dixon eventually jumps on it. There you go. Raise it up in the sky, young man. That sets up the offense nice. Dejon Goldman is going to throw to Owen Russell for the touchdown. 7-6. Hammond still in front after the PAT was missed. But it's all good because Denham Springs offense is going to get the ball right back, and Goldman is going to make a bunch of moves and follow his blockers and go down the sideline for a 60-yard touchdown. 2-point conversion good, 14-7 Denham Springs, and the Yellow Jackets would have it going from there. They go on to win 34-15 the final.
Nice. All right, JFK in town to take on Scotlandville, and you see the captain's meeting late, and I mean late in the first quarter. Dorian Dunham keeps it himself for a nice run to pick up some yards for the Cougars. And then Dunham, the handoff to Kenneth Chelsea before being taken down by Joe Tate. Not quite a touchdown. He's right at the pylon. The Scotlandville cheerleaders, they want defense. Dunham's pass is complete to Terry Jacko for the touchdown, so it's 6-0. JFK out in front. Scotlandville with the new head coach and Richard Oliver this year after only having one victory a season ago. Hornets with the ball. Gennard Green on the carry, weaving through defenders, trying to make it all the way before being met by a host of Cougars. Green then fumbles the snap. He loses a handle. Hornets couldn't get anything going on that drive. Cougars back with the possession. Dunham. His pass will be complete to Jalen Morgan for the touchdown.
Man.
In traffic, huh? 12-0, JFK at the half.
On his head. That's what the young kids say, Jock. On his head.
On his head.
Yeah.
Well, final score in this one tonight as we take a look at it. Scotlandville just could not get the offense going, and they lose 19-0.
Yeah, tough debut for Richard Oliver and company. All right, let's go to Ascension Christian. They were taking on the Willow School, also a debut for new Ascension Christian head coach Conrad Gale. And his offense, they were trying to make things happen as LaRon McDowell keeps it for the night's game. And then Dow is going to take a shot deep, but that is going to end up in the hands of the other jersey. Tyrell Johnson is going to take it and look for a house call, but he is eventually chased down with a nice return for the Willow School. And then Mark Rose.
They're the Lions, by the way.
Oh, there we go. The Lions.
I think they're both the Lions. Yeah, that's right.
All right, Cade Barrett on the tackle. Ascension Christian trying to get something going. This is a defensive game right here. Cyrus Buckets. I guess you can call it that Buckets. There's a touchdown. All right, not basketball, but close enough. 7-0 Willow. And then the next Ascension Christian position, another pick six. Tyrell Johnson, 14-0. So I guess defense led the way for the Willow School in this one.
Yeah, final score.
Final score in this one, 48-8. So nice little jump start for the Willow School right there in that one.
Willow School is from New Orleans, by the way, in case you did not know that.
There we go. Jock Duce with the filler. Thank you, boss. Mentorship in East Iberville in St. Gabriel tonight. Let's pick it up. LaDanian Clark makes a nice run and then goes into the cameraman. Way to stay on your feet there. I don't know who had this game, but hey, good job.
It was Darren DeQuano, who's older than you.
All right, good job, Darren. There we go. Next is going to be DeQuan Benjamin. His turn for a nice run down to the 3-yard line, and that's going to lead to Cave Johnson getting into the end zone for the first score of the game, 7-0 Tigers. So let's see what the Sharks can do, all right? Can they do something in that water? Jeremy Collins, long throw, picked off by DeQuan Benjamin, and the score was 7-0 in the first quarter. Really, defensive game in this one. Was that the case in the final score for that one? Oh, 28-20. So mentorship. The Sharks actually came back biting, and they get a clutch win.
Wow.
First win of the season. All right.
East Iberville was just coasting there to a victory. Not so.
Nope.
All right. That Catholic Destrehan game, we're going to be talking about that and much more on Sportsline Friday night.
fumbled, and Broadmoor will recover in Springfield territory. So let's see if the offense could do something. The quarterback, Malachi Harris, can't find anybody, so he keeps it himself. And he cannot be brought down. Still going, almost gets in the end zone. But that sets them up with a goal-to-go situation. And Harris gets it again, calls his own number again, and gets into the end zone for the touchdown. That made it 7-0. That was the score at halftime. So what was the final score in Broadmoor and Springfield? 14-8. So there we go. Opening win for Broadmoor for Coach Yassine Sarah and company.
All right, here we go. Here's the heavyweight fight. Catholic High and Destrehan battling at Memorial Stadium. Both teams in the semifinals last season. 3-0 Destrehan in the first quarter. 3rd and goal. Turner Goldsmith drops the snap. He throws it at the goal line. Jabari Mack with the takeaway, and he is going to bring this thing back all the way 100 yards to the pick 6, and he's a 2026 LSU wide receiver commitment to make it 10-0 Wildcats. There was a flag initially, but the referees say no. It's a defensive touchdown. So Goldsmith and the Bears offense right back at it. 3rd and 5. The senior flares a short pass to Finley Huckleberry. The freshman gets the first down and some more. A few plays later, Justin Baptiste takes the direct snap.
No relation.
Races into the end zone. Get ready to hear this name a lot. 10-6 Destrehan. The PAT was blocked. The Bears driving last play of the first quarter. Goldsmith connects with Jude Chamberlain on 3rd down, 3rd and 9. The slant moves the chains. Same drive, early second quarter, back to Baptiste and back to Paydirt, 13-10 Bears. Final minute first half, 16-13 Wildcats leading. Goldsmith drops back, loops the pass to Bo Thomas, who is wide open. Destrehan forgot all about him. Bears up 20-16 at the half. Early third quarter, Jackson fumbles the exchange with his tailback. There is a scramble for it. Eventually the pile is pulled. Max Maurer on the recovery. So Catholic High turns the takeaway into points shortly after. And who runs it? You guessed it, Baptiste. Crosses the goal line, his 3rd score of the game, 26-16 Catholic High third quarter. 26-23 Catholic looking for the knockout. Goldsmith hooks up with his tight end. Again, Chamberlain refusing to go down, dragging defenders, gain of 17. Baptiste puts the final nail in the coffin, his 4th rushing touchdown of the game out of the Wildcat. And Catholic High wins the season opener 32-23. Kevin, this week you were not eligible to vote for Player of the Week.
Oh, man, because if I was, man, hey, look, hey, his last name is Baptiste, so he's going to be a baller. I mean, so you already know how that's going to go.
All right. Here we go. More big-time action. Santa Maria and Bird. There we go. This was in Shreveport. Thanks to our friends at KSLA for the highlights. And you take a look. It's Cooper Babin out of the pocket. Hits Riley Rizzuto for the first down. Gators closer to the end zone. Babin throws a dart to Rizzuto for the touchdown. And Santa Maria is up 42-6. Bird with the ball. They're back up near their goal line. This ball is lost in the end zone. And Santa Maria's A.J. Dunn falls on it for the touchdown. You know, it's always a long drive to Shreveport and back, but if you're Santa Maria tonight, it might go by just a little bit quicker because they go to Shreveport and they blast Bird. Let's take a look at your final score here tonight, 49-6.
All right, yeah, that definitely makes the drive worth the while. All right, we have some more Livingston Parish against Tangi action today as Walker, they were on the road against Ponchatoula, and it was tied at 20 at this point as Walker's Brashad London gets the first down. And then a few plays later, it's Bryce May who's going to punch it in to give Walker the lead 27-20. All right, Ponchatoula, let's see what you got. Braden Luata rolls to his left, throws it deep, got a man wide open. Jaden Walker is going to get into the end zone for the touchdown, 27-26. This Ponchatoula, what they're going to do? They go for 2 or go for the extra point? They're going to go for the win, and the snap is going to be off the quarterback's hands and recovered by Walker. And what a win for Chad Mahaffey and company. How about that for some chaos in week 1? The Wildcats hang on for the 1-point win, 27-26 is the final in that win. Man, hey, chaos, Kevin. How about that one?
Hey, we set the cameras over there, and we got what we got.
There we go. There we go. And that's just how, you know, luck just runs its course. So let's go to the next game. Let's go to the next game. Southern Lab at Liberty. Nice shot of Olympia Stadium. Opening debut for Jimmy Zachary at Liberty. And his team came out firing as Bryce Preston throws to Justin Thomas. That's a good game. And then later, Zayden Foster gets the handoff and he goes in standing up. So that made it 27-12 Liberty. How about that? So Southern Lab, they're down by 2 scores. Let's see if they can get something going. This is going to be Jerry Bodley runs the option pitch to Logan Dauphine for the touchdown. So that made it. Oh, they're going to go for 2 points right here. It's Bodley. Another option pitches to Terrence Hunter. That made it 27-20 Southern Lab trying to hang on. But folks, this one was all Patriots as Liberty goes on to get the win 41-28. So nice win for Jimmy Zachary and company.
All right. Glen Oaks and Belair. Belair was up 22-6 at the half. And looking for more, Ja'Cory Freeman. This is a big run that he rips off before he's finally brought down near the goal line. However, Belair did not score on that drive. However, they did get things going here. Kimiron Robinson, long run coming right at you. He breaks it, doesn't quite get into the end zone. He's tackled just short, but Freeman will get the rock. He will score here. So Belair adding to their lead, and the defense protecting that lead as they will sack the quarterback coming up. Lots of pressure on the passer. So on the road to start the season, and the Bengals get the victory. Let's take a look at your final score. Well, we don't have that final score. We should, but we'll tell you that Belair won. All right.
Sauces. Central and De La Salle this evening. So
well,
Central,
I don't know if we have that shot sheet, guys, that was brought out to us, but Central, defending state champion, of course, won last year, their first state championship in almost 60 years. Defense looking good. Offense on the attack. Long pass, however, that's going to be intercepted in the end zone and spikes the ball. I don't think you can do that. Well, no flag. Well, there's the flag. Central's defense in the end, in the second half, got things done. And giving up the touchdown here, however, but are knocking him out of bounds just short of the goal line.
All right, what's the final score in this one? Let's see. Let's see how
Final
this one
score,
goes.
Central hangs on to win 20-13. We apologize. We did not have the shot sheet for that. We should have. And we'll look to clean that up next week in week 2 of the season.
Week 1 for everybody.
Week 1 for everybody. Kevin Baptiste, I'm Jacques Doucet. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
Jags and Tigers tomorrow.